Hi, hello, and welcome. I'm definitely not Vlad, and you're watching me go from 0 to hero on a Blood DK in the War Within Season 2. We're ready to start doing some 10s here with Smelly Bendy Wendy. We're at 658, 657 item level. I guess I have something I haven't equipped, which is probably there's a trinket that has like a little bit more item level than what I have. So if I equip that, I'm probably 658, yeah. But I don't really want to do that. I don't know if the Sigil of Algari Concordance is better than the, than the Turbo Drain 5000. Which honestly, it probably is. Although when I look at some overalls, oh, okay, never mind. This is from some quests or whatever. But it does a good like 1 to 2% of my damage, which is not bad, not horrible. Also, you may have noticed I'm wearing a different transmog. But yes, 10s. We're talking about 10s. I'm at 657 item level. That should be plenty for plus 10s. I've been invited to 8s quite easily, pretty much instantly whenever I apply. So I'm assuming I'm going to get into a plus 10 Floodgate, which is really what I want to do. Because you guys, if you've been watching, you know I've been pretty disappointed with the routes that people have been doing in the Floodgate runs. And even though I have done a warrior previously before doing either of my 2 DPS, a warrior tank I should say, people think I'm clueless as to what tanks should do. So I want to show you what tanks should do in a plus 10. And now watch me die over and over again. God, I hope this doesn't suck. But yes, the plan is to go in there and do a route properly and show you just how quickly you can group things, even as a Blood DK that notoriously goes down like a rock if they don't pay attention while grouping. So anyway, we're going to start looking for a group. A gentle and friendly reminder that, I don't know, which gentle? Why would I say that? That sounds weird. Anyway, a friendly reminder that on the 25th, so next weekend, Danny and I will be doing the weekend challenge, which is us going from 0 to hero in a single weekend on freshly dinged 80 characters. So look out for that. And hopefully not having any kind of warm-up does not bite me in the ass on these runs. So I'll see you in the plus 10 Floodgate. All right, I can't get into a plus 10 key, so I chose to join an 8 or a 9. I managed to get into a 9. We're going to do that real quick just to up our chances of getting invited to a 10. And then we'll do the 10, and that's what I'll fully commentate. This one, I'm just going to do my thing here.
A few moments later.
And that cleans up Floodgate plus 9. We 2-star it. Definitely need to be careful about the tank busters. This was good. This was a good warm-up. This is a nice sword, but I don't think anyone can use it in the group other than me, so I just get to keep that, I guess. We're going to put it down here with the rest of the loot that we can't really utilize. We still have a 4 key, so I'm not going to re-roll it, but now I think I might have a better chance of getting invited now that plus 9 is listed instead of a plus 6 is my best key. Thank you for the run. And we're going to peace out and try to get into an actual Floodgate key that is plus 10, which I will fully commentate. Except for maybe the first pull, because the first pull, the way I do it, incredibly dangerous and probably should shut up and focus.
One eternity later.
And here we go with a plus 10. Had to do a 9 before I could get into this, and even getting into this was a little bit difficult. But now we're waiting for the Druid to buff, apparently. Alright, we're going to Icebound Fortitude and try to get Blood Boil on these guys. Really need a Death Strike. Very good. Going to use this, focus one of these, and try to group now, and we should be good now. Big Death Strike goes out, saves my ass from dying, and there we go. A little bit more. Are you fucking serious, bro? Are you actually serious, Paladin? Are you genuinely 100% real Z's serious right now? What the fuck was that? What the actual fuck was that? I cannot believe what I just saw. We're going to look for a different group to run with. That is not the first time I saw that, but it's a 10. How are you so lost that you let that... I don't know. I don't need to see the rest of this dungeon to know how it's going to turn out, so we're just going to try and find a different group to join, because that was mind-boggling. And here we go with a plus 10 Voidbound Tyrannical Fortified. Third run, second attempt of plus 10 Floodgate. I'm going to focus up now. Think I'm relatively stable now. We're going to Lichborn for the extra DR. This time nobody ran over by the side and decided to pull shit, so that's nice. We have another Dancing Rune weapon active, so that should keep us relatively safe. We have Death Strike, Cleave. The group did pop Bloodlust and melted these trash mobs, so we are good. That first pull is super dangerous, so I just shut up and focused on actually getting it done. And now we can progress through the dungeon relatively peacefully. If we get through that first pull, it feels like the dungeon's basically timed, as long as people don't mess up too bad. All right, let's grip this, taunt that guy in the middle, and we have to make sure we don't kick the bucket here. Trying my hardest to get my death strikes out. We're gonna grip this guy over, put focus on it. Other one's already been interrupted, so we good. Looks like the other thing got interrupted as well, and we have our dancing rune weapon back up. Our healer went down from ignoring the spinny boys. I do that all the time, so I completely understand. I'm gonna switch over to the emissary and try to put some damage into the emissary. Spinny boys are back up. We're gonna go ahead and kick that one. Stun comes down from the warlock, takes care of the spinny boys. We have another scaffolding up, trying to keep everything in front of me so I can keep parrying. Okay, nice. Group actually uses utility such as stuns and stuff. It's amazing. Okay, off to a good start. Liking this group so far. They actually waited for me to group everything before they started blasting the bejesus out of the mobs. It was really, really nice. A welcome change to the usual. Get my dancing rune weapon out, hit these guys, blood boil, drop a D&D right here, and blood boil again. We have grippy hands available for when these guys pop over to the side. Gonna grip that, looking for the demolitionist. We're gonna keep CCing it to prevent it from doing its sting. We're gonna grip right about now. As long as you keep gripping the demolitionist, it is easy peasy lemon squeezy. You don't have to worry about anything else. Demolitionist is being interrupted by somebody else. Love to see it. We're gonna blind it now. Blind will take care of that quite nicely. We have random Cyrillic going off, probably just from interrupts. I think I'm gonna have to ignore this person because they're covering half my screen in Cyrillic. The messages are quite large. I'd probably ignore someone who was using the German client as well, because it just takes up so much of the screen for no reason. Here we're gonna use an anti-magic shell for that first tank buster. There it is, the Electro Crush. That thing does a lot of damage even on 9, which I did it on recently. So doing it on 10, I'm extra scared and making sure that I don't just fall over and die. Sonic Boom is coming out, it's going through the other side, so I don't have to worry about it too much. Dancing Rune Weapon goes out. Tank Buster's about to go through. We do have extra healing and extra health, so we can survive that without using anything else. Next one I might want to use a Icebound Fortitude for, or I can also just use my anti-magic shell. Jumpstart is going out. We don't have any extra damage to put into the boss, but that's okay. The group is doing plenty of damage. I don't have to worry about it too much. The group is taking quite a bit of damage, though. I don't know if they're using defensives or not, because I've switched to these offensive profile that I have. I'm going to try and get a Blood Boil out on all of these and then move the boss away. We're going to use Grippy Hands. Electro Crush comes out. I'm going to use a anti-magic shell to take care of that. We're also going to use our Dancing Rune Weapon here for the extra DPS onto the adds. Making sure I don't kick the bucket here. Another Electro Crush is coming up soon. We're going to kick that guy in the background. Electro Crush comes down. We Death Strike immediately afterwards. Very scary tank buster, honestly. You got to really respect it. I do have an Icebound Fortitude for the next one. Kicks are going out. I'm being pushed back by this nonsense. Jumpstart coming through. We're losing a lot of area. I'm scared of resetting the boss. I'm going to ping, then I'm going to move in this direction. Blizzard, please let me fucking ping what I want. That was annoying. Alright, let's blood boil all these guys. We're gonna ping. We pinged that we're going this way, so hopefully people understand. That is what I meant, but that was incredibly irritating. I pinged, you saw where my mouse was, and it kept pinging the boss. It is insane that that is the case. We're gonna kick this thing. I'm really hoping we have enough space here. I hope I didn't make the wrong choice. I got pushed back, so this second one is originating from way back, and I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. Warlock beats us to the kick. That's good. We need that second intermission to come in so we can kill this boss. Sonic Boom coming out. Not much space for people to stand in. I don't have a kick for this. Really need a kick to go off. Warlock didn't have his because it's longer cooldown. Mine is Icebound Fortitude. Mine is Icebound Fortitude? No. Mine is also pretty long cooldown if I don't get my thing. Okay, the first area is gone. The next tank buster is gonna ruin my day if I don't take care of this very soon. Okay, jumpstart goes out. Boss is basically dead. I'm gonna hold cooldowns for the next pull. That was scary as hell. But luckily we had enough room because the first area just completely disappeared. I didn't know they did that because I usually don't get to that point of the fight. Alright, Dancing Rune Weapon goes out. We're gonna grab these guys over here, and we're gonna use Grippy Hands because we might as well use them on cooldown. Because every pull in this dungeon is pretty hefty, so it's not a complete waste to use it unless you really need it for something, which I don't think you do, at least not with the route I take. There's really not much you need. Grippy Hands for? Maybe you could argue that you could use it for the inspectors, the guys that do the surprise inspection thing where they teleport to a random player. I'm gonna ping that I'm going up there, which means I'm just quickly going to hit these guys with a blood boil and then move on upstairs. We're going to blood boil these guys and then move over here with a wraith walk, and there we go. And then grip the contractors. This is a nice big pull, very dangerous actually because of the spinny boys, but we should be okay here. Reload is gonna go out if somebody doesn't CC it, and we don't want that reload to go out. Loader bots are here. Gonna need the warlock to do his stun again. I can't CC them with my thingy thing with the stuffy stuff. People are standing in it. I don't like that. Oh, this is scary. I'm gonna proc my purgatory, back up to full health. Reload about to go out. I think we didn't manage to stop it. I'm gonna have to stop the RPGs by gripping. I'm gonna Icebound Fortitude. We have Dancing Rune Weapon finally. I feel safer. Really needed that AoE stun from the Warlock to come through. I guess they used it sometime recently, so we didn't get it. Trying to stop the RPG reload thing from the Militianist. We managed to do so. Beautiful. Okay. We did get a binding shot onto the little spinny boys at some point, but it was too little too late. They were dead. I'm going to let someone else activate that so I can head over to the next place where we want to pull. Okay, I'm gonna ping here so people know where I'm going. And the hunter says first time I try marksmanship. We're gonna wait for everyone to group up. Gonna drop a D&D here. I'm going to ping that I'm going there so people know that I'm gonna be pulling more. I gotta be more careful now that I don't have purgatory. I need those death strikes to keep rolling. Very, very scared this run because I don't usually play fortified because I haven't done many 10s, right? Or any 10s. Okay, I've pinged that I'm going here, so we're going to go ahead and do so. Need those death strikes to roll in sooner. We're gonna kick this one. That one gets kicked by somebody else. Scaffolding needs to be broken. Once the scaffolding is broken, I'm gonna move more in this direction. Group everything up further away from the crabs. We don't want to pull the crabs. Get those death strikes in. There we go. God damn, these mobs hurt like hell. Do not like it. Oh, felt a lot safer on the Prot Warrior. People keep asking me what I like more, Prot Warrior or Blood DK, and I'm gonna be honest, Prot Warrior just felt a lot safer. Maybe because I'm better at it or something, or maybe I'm bad at Blood DK, I don't know. But either way, I just liked it more because, you know, if I get in trouble, I press shield wall and then live forever. On this class, if I don't have enough runic power to death strike at the right time, I am basically dead. So I should probably stockpile runic power, but oh well. Alright, dangerous pull coming up. Maybe not the best time to not have many resources, but we're going to pull this guy in. Looking at the Surveyor so we can interrupt it when it starts casting, which is right now. We're going to stand over here. Surveyor is stunned. We don't have to worry about him too much. Predation coming out, we're going to move immediately. Drop a D&D in this direction so I can keep moving in that direction. Second Predation comes out, we're good to go. I'm going to pull these guys in because I do believe I need them for percent. I'm not 110% sure, but we're going to grab them anyway because the Shredation guys are still real beefy and healthy, so we can cleave these guys down along with them. Another Shredation goes out, we move, drop a D&D, so we have another one to stand in. We're not going to use Grippy Hands here. I don't think it's necessary. Kind of a shit spot for us to be in. Okay, and then kick that guy in the background. He does start the beam, but it ends very, very quickly. Okay, we have some contractors. That's okay. Those guys are going to go down real quick. I'm going to try and build up some, whatchamacallit, some bone shield charges off of them. Never mind, and no success there. We do have Bloodlust available. We should probably Bloodlust this boss so we get more Bloodlusts in the run total. Okay, Grippy Hands right off the bat here. I'm going to say Bloodlust might be worth it here. People might not want to, but I think we should send it anyway, just because I think it'd be more efficient in case we need another Bloodlust at some point later in the run, or can use another Bloodlust some point later in the run. Probably going to be last boss, which I think is a-okay. We have 2 bombs being taken care of. Charge takes care of 1 bomb, it looks like. Maybe 2. Maybe 2. Looks like 2. Next charge is going to be on me after this one. Quick Fuse Lady is going to jump off into the distance soon, so we're not going to commit too much. Okay, beams are coming out, so no jump just yet. There's the jump. We're going to move over to her, drop this down so people can cleave as much as possible. And it looks like we've taken care of the affix. No, the affix went off and buffed people. That's not great, and not great at all. Charge comes through. I get stunned because I wasn't paying attention. Last charge is going to be on me, and I have to make sure I send it into this last remaining thingy thing with the stuffy stuff. We do have another debuff that we could take care of. Paladin takes care of it. There's no bombs left, so them exploding off to the side does not matter. Gotta be a bit more careful with my health here. Even though I do have Purgatory back up, I would love to keep that Purgatory for something more dangerous. But I do believe once we get through the next boss, we're basically donezo. Bombs are coming out. There could be a potential triple bomb clear debuff if we manage to make use of it. One bomb is cleared by that. Charge takes care of what looks like 2 bombs. We have another charge taking care of another 2 bombs, it looks like, over there. And then I'll be able to send him into the last bomb over here, like so. If you didn't know, the 3rd charge always goes out onto the tank. So two charges go out, and then the 3rd one hits the tank. Wallop's coming out. We're going to use a little something for it. I'm going to hold my cooldowns here, not Dancing Rune Weapon, but I'm going to hold the rest of my cooldowns here just so I don't, just so I can use it on the other stuff outside. The divers is what we're going to be pulling next. It's going to be 6 divers and then 6 kelp. Need that Death Strike to come through. Next wallop would be pretty fatal otherwise. We're going to grab these because everyone ran off to the side. Plus, I like to just go in here and grab the bombs, and then somebody can activate that extra action button over here to take care of the Zeppelin. And there we go. Zeppelin's been taken care of. I double checked because one time I had everyone just kind of be like, oh, somebody else will get it because everyone kind of piled up on it. And that was not great. We're going to start this off with grippy hands. And people have been telling me, hey, man, it's slappy hands. Nah, man, they grip. They got them grips. They grippy hands. Don't know what to tell you. Sorry to disappoint you, but them's grippy hands. I joke, of course. I know that people like calling them slappy hands because it looks like they're slapping some bitches, but may as well call them pimp hands at that point, you know? All right, we have Dancing Rune Weapon. The mobs are almost dead. I'm going to start the next pull with Dancing Rune Weapon by pulling some mobs off to the side with it. Okay, we're going to drop Dancing Rune Weapon on that guy in the background. We're going to Blood Boil to hit this one that's right next to us, okay? We use the grip here to start grouping the enemies, so hopefully that doesn't bite me in the ass. We're going to wait for 3rd cast to start CCing. There we go. There's our CC. We interrupt one thing. Somebody else overlapped or rather kicked before we could. I'm going to wait for next kelp. Then we're going to keep gripping those. I have a Strangulation available, or rather an Asphyxiate available. We're going to asphyxiate the next one to cast it. There we go. Those things are the big source of damage here, is the spins. The spins is what you want to CC. With Death Grip, you can actually take care of a lot of those. Unfortunately, I didn't manage to get that kick in on time. It managed to finish its cast, but that's okay. It's another Jettison Kelp. We can Death Grip that. And then I think we're basically done with this pull. Beautiful. Lots of CC came out from the group, and yours truly. Love to see it. So we were able to take care of those pretty quickly. I'm going to say plus to going left always. We need a new these, what are they called? Soulwell Hearthstones. That's what we need. I'm going to run out of bone charges here, and we're going to start the pull with a taunt because there's a person standing right in front of the boss. Hopefully they don't get one shot. There we go. Okay, we managed to not let them get one shot. We're going to use Anti-Magic Shell because that, holy shit. Oh man, that really hurt. Okay, moving to the left always, as the group suggested and asked for. Holy shit, that tank buster hurts. What the hell? Awakening the Swamp. We're going to move a bit to the right here to try and avoid these first waves that come out. Lots of waves coming through. We managed to sneak through them just like that. Sludge Claws comes through. We're going to Death Strike immediately afterwards. That really hurts. Holy shit. Okay. Moving to the left now, y'all. Holy crap, that hurt like hell. We're going to use an Anti-Magic Shell for the next one. Awakening the Swamp comes out. That means a lot of AoE damage. I don't have AMZ for my friends here, but I'm sure they know how to press a defensive or two, and our healer seems to be handling it quite well. Okay, we're getting yoinked into that. Sludge Claws comes out. We're going to Death Strike immediately afterwards, not before it. You can do before, if you have enough runic power, you can do before and after, but ideally, if you only have enough runic power for one Death Strike, you Death Strike afterwards so you can benefit from that damage happening to you and then getting a bigger Death Strike out. Unless you're not full HP, then you want to Death Strike beforehand, obviously. Trying to avoid the waves here. More important for my allies to do that than me. I can kind of just stand in it. I'm going to Icebound Fortitude these Sludge Claws because they don't have Anti-Magic Shell. That keeps me quite safe because it's a very powerful defensive for us. Basically our shield wall. Okay, everyone moving to the left. Very nice. Staying grouped. So far, so good. Without a Bloodlust, the boss does take a little bit longer, but again, we get another Bloodlust in the dungeon, which feels like higher value than making this a little bit safer by killing the boss sooner. Still trying to avoid all these waves. We're going to use Grippy Hands here, try to contribute to the DPS meaningfully. Healer's running out of juice. We're going to Anti-Magic Shell this, and then immediately Death Strike afterwards. Definitely a toughie, definitely a toughie. 1.7 million HPS keeps people relatively healthy, but I think there's a lack of defensives being used potentially, so that's something to look out for. We're going to move to the left a little bit more. These are really spread out, so it should be relatively easy to avoid all these thingy things with the stuffy stuff. What are they called? Waves. Those are called waves. Waves, Vlad. Okay, whoever was paired with me stood a fair distance off. We're gonna Lichborn this one because that's the only active defensive that we can use. Holy shit, like cooldown defensive that we can use. I didn't have a anti-magic shell, but Lichborn does the trick. Lichborn gives us about 15% DR, so we should be good. I'm gonna ping here so people know where to stand. Refresh my bone shield charges by pulling those guys with my thingy with the stuff. Oh, come on. My stupid pet took aggro from me, so Bubbles isn't coming over. But yes, people avoid all of that. Never mind. I said they avoid all of that, but they do not. I'm in the line of sight because of this stupid thing. We're going to use an anti-magic shell here to not take 3 stacks of this. People should stay relatively stacked here so that we can... Oh, our friend actually got the... He's having a rough time. Our hunter friend is not having a good time. Bubbles are touched by our mage, unfortunately, and that procs their cheat death, but luckily they at least have a cheat death, unlike our hunter friend, who just had to kind of eat shit and die. Twice. They came down during the dot, so they got all stacks of the dot without the healer actually being able to heal them. And that is very, very brutal. With the hunter here, we should be able to start actually killing this thing a little bit more quickly. We're going to anti-magic shell this dot so I don't get any stacks of it. New bubbles will be coming out in a couple of seconds. Okay, there's the new bubbles. We should all stack over here now. I'm contemplating clearing out some of these bubbles for my friends to not risk getting touched by them or standing in them so they don't blow up, but I don't think it's necessary. I'm kind of holding cooldowns here because I really don't want to send anything into bubbles, but I feel like everyone else is doing the same because they're doing like 700k DPS or whatever. Fire Mage is definitely having a rough time on this pull. They're really holding everything. They have combustion. Yeah, everyone's holding everything. It's kind of weird, but it's okay. Bubbles is definitely worth sending cooldowns on if you couldn't tell from that interaction we just had. We're going to grip that guy over, and we're going to use Grippy Hands for this. Okay, make sure I actually keep myself alive. Grippy Hands should take care of all the grouping needs that we have. Blinding Light comes out from the Paladin. We're trying to get some kicks in so that these lightning bolts don't keep going out. The lightning bolts are actually pretty rough. We're going to make sure we grip this guy back in and grip this guy back in if we can. We can't. We didn't have a grip available. That's okay. The group absolutely blew these guys up. Now, we don't have many cooldowns. We have the Fire Mage ready. I'm just gonna ping. Jesus Christ, the ping system is fucking atrocious. There. I want to kill this before we move on. Give people a chance to lower their cooldowns, because can I go big next? I'm just going to ask the group, because I see that they don't have offensives. The mage would probably be okay with it because he has combustion, but the rest of the group might not be too keen on it. Bloodlust? Yeah, screw it. We're going big here. An anti-magic shell, kick those. Another kick goes out. We're going to go biggish here. Biggish. I can't go triple jump starters, but we're bloodlusting here. Mage is super happy about that because he's got his blood. He's got his thingy thing with the stuffy stuff. What is that called? Jesus, brain, Vlad. Combustion. Our hunter is also just about ready to use his true shot, but I think he might go for something for the next group for that. Honestly, because this is almost dead. Okay, worked out. It's not as scary as I thought. Really, the scariest mob in here is the jump starter. But if you're able to live that, like the AoE, which we were able to live, the only other thing to do is to kick the mobs. And if you can kick them and CC them enough, it's kind of okay. We have another combustion ready, as well as our friends' cooldowns here. I'm going to send all of my cooldowns into this as well. I'm going to send an early anti-magic shell so that I have it ready for, whatchamacallit, for El Jefe. The reason I want it for El Jefe is so that I can avoid having to move for the orb. I'm going to take, 2 tank busters at the same time, was it? No, it was just one. I'm just kind of getting my ass kicked here. We're going to use the extra healing. We really want to make sure that that emissary gets popped, otherwise these mobs are going to be a little bit even more annoying. Luckily, with everyone having cooldown, nobody's sending cooldowns? Why are we not sending cooldowns into these guys? Are we holding for the boss? I'm questioning the decisions my friends are making here. These guys really, really hurt. I'm going to have to use a Death Strike after that Spark Slam. That's one of them dead. I feel safer now. Holy shit, though. That was, still surprised we're holding all these cooldowns. But that's okay, you know? People decide to do what they decide to do. And I end up being second in DPS because of that. Okay, we're on the last boss. It's not looking like a 2-star. We have no bloodlust, but we do have all cooldowns. So let's see how it works out. 2 minutes, 20 seconds for the boss. He's going to do his thing. We're going to do our thing. And let's see who wins, the timer or us. Even if we 1-starred, I'm still happy with it because I feel like I did a good job routing this. Was a little surprised by some of the choices, like holding cooldowns, but maybe it's just now here at the end that people are being a little bit weird with it. I think we're okay either way. Okay, I'm going to store up some runic power as best I can. Thunder Punch is coming through. We're going to try and prevent the knockback just out of habit, to build the habit of preventing the knockback. Very painful, but the Giga Zap goes out afterwards, so it's not that big of a deal as we're able to recover and not get auto-attacked in the meantime. I'm going to use a defensive here, or use anti-magic shell here to just absorb this orb. I don't have to move, everyone else has to. Not great for any melee that might be in the group, but I don't really give a shit. What I really want is to be able to take this out quite easily. So I don't have to move, I don't have to think about who's going to take my stuff. I just sit here and I tank. Alright, I use an Icebound Fortitude there for one of the tank busters. Turbocharge going out, which is the intermission. Good time to use defensives or trust your healer really badly. Really badly? Or what am I trying to say? Trust your healer in this. Maybe defensive for the Giga Zaps if they go on you. I don't know. If you have plenty of defensives, then roll them in between like mages, but otherwise save big defensives for the Giga Zap. I think it does more damage than this. We're gonna Lichborn this one. I think I managed to use it before it actually hit me, so that's good. The dot doing a number on me. We're gonna use a health stone here real quick. Our mage almost going down. Our healer does go down. I need to build up runic power to res them. Okay, we do have the warlock taking care of the res. Was that on me? No. Where's my thing? Where's my... Wait a second. Where did my thing go? Okay, well, we need a death strike after that. I'm so confused. Wait, where did my stuff go? Why did I not get a thingy with the stuff? I don't understand. Please explain. Oh well, the leaping spark, that's what I'm talking about. Sorry for thingy with the stuff and all that. I was just so confused I couldn't figure out where it went. But it's looking good. This seems to be the last intermission. I think the boss should be dead after this. If the boss is dead after this, we did quite well. I'm trying to kill the Void Emissary here. It's gonna pop and give the boss a bit of a buff, but it's 15%. I should be okay. I'm not gonna use, again, not going to use my anti-magic shell on that. By that, I mean the Thunder Punch. Leaping Sparks is going to come out. There is one on me now. I'm going to use an anti-magic shell and just run towards it. There we go. Beautiful. I don't actually have to move Thunder Punch when it comes out. I'm going to use a knockback prevention because he's at a weird angle, so I don't trust myself not getting knocked back too far. Knockback prevention, Icebound Fortitude. This is the last Thunder Punch of the dungeon, and we live it, and that's what matters. There we go. We didn't 2-star at 47 seconds under the 2-star timer, but we do almost have a 2-star, which is pretty dang good if you ask me. And that is our first plus 10. It's a Floodgate, and now all the people that were telling me you need to be safe and whatnot and slowly pull things together and defending shit tanks, now you see how you actually do this dungeon. 4 deaths overall on the group. Pretty happy with that. Means the pulls weren't too dangerous. I don't care about re-rolling my key because it doesn't really matter. Anyway, we're going to take the portal to Dornogal, courtesy of our mage friend. We're going to shill our YouTube channel, thank them for the key, and peace out. Very nice. I feel like I did okay. Overall, my DPS not as high as it could be, but I was kind of holding cooldowns between pulls and whatnot, so maybe I could pump up that DPS a little bit more, but I'm happy with where it's at. What matters to me is that I managed to live everything. I actually only dropped Purgatory once, and it was, I think, during one of the during a gathering of... Actually, I don't know, but I remember that I dropped it at excuse me, a little hiccup, at some point. I'm quite happy that the route that I like to do was pretty good for this group. Some pulls may have been too big for our marksmanship hunter, but I feel like they still did perfectly fine. This was also apparently King Archer's first time as marksmanship. That's what they said near the start of the dungeon. But I'm quite happy with how I performed. I'm also surprised that we have everyone in the dungeon actually kicking. That is a first. I think we almost always had one person who didn't kick, and I don't mean like a priest healer or something. I mean actually like just had a person who didn't kick even though they had kicks available. So anyway. I'm going to take this opportunity to remind you that on the 25th of April, Danny and I will be doing the Weekend Challenge, also known as the Mediocre Push. We're like an MDI team. Think of us as Mandatory's weird cousin, optional. But that's pretty much it for this episode. If you enjoyed it, drop a like, let me know what you liked about it, and a comment down below. If you had fun, make sure you subscribe because there's more episodes coming. And that person jumping in the background is actually really entertaining. If you want to see what happens between these episodes, check out the stream. If you can't make it to the stream, you could check the live section of this YouTube channel to find the VODs. But as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Who is that? They look like a potential DK. Is that a blood DK? Actually, a red blood DK over there, and I'm a blue blood DK. So let's come over here. Blood DK party, y'all. We're just jumping around in circles. I like this.